Hi, my name is Dominique Sharpton, and this is my first Civic Action.
My name is Ashley Sharpton, and this is my first Civic Action.
So I was about 5 months old. It was the year 1986, and I led my first demonstration with my parents, Kathy Jordan and Reverend Al Sharpton, leading a march in Howard Beach, Brooklyn, protesting the death of Michael Griffin, who was basically killed running away from a white mob, and he was hit by a car and killed. And we all went to Brooklyn to protest this incident in Brooklyn.
Okay, my first Civic Action, well, I have two. My first Civic Action was in 1992. I was 5 years old. My father it was his first run for Senate in New York City. And I didn't really understand what he was running for or why he was running. I know we had to wear these white sweatsuits with my dad's face everywhere. And it basically said Sharpton for Senate 92. And we had to stand and pass out these brochures and whatnot and basically say, vote. So that was the first time. I didn't understand it, but I knew it was something important because there was a lot of press around and they kept taking our pictures. So I was like confused, but it was like, okay, I guess this is good. A scarier Civic Action. We went to Long Island, 1996. A young black man. He was 21 years old. He was with a white woman. And I think it was, Long Island, East Hamptons. It might have been East Hampton, West Hampton. But we went up there with Reverend Sharpton, National Network, and all I know is they said they hit him in the head with a club. And I know how a club was because my mom had a club on her wheel in her car. And I just didn't understand how you could hit somebody in the head over and over again with something so heavy. And I was petrified. I remember I was young, and I know Rev was there. It was tense. There was a lot of tension. It was a lot of white people out there. There was a lot of cops out there, and they didn't want us there. And I knew I was petrified. I wouldn't let go of my mom's hand. I was crying, and his family was there, and I didn't know how to react to them. Even though I was like 8, I didn't know how to react to them because what can you say? And I was a little kid. I didn't know why they did this to him, but it was just like, what are we going to do to change this? And that day, that stayed with me forever. Like, it's still, every time I hear Shane Daniels' name, it's like, is he okay? Like, because he was in a coma, and I was young, and it scared me. And I didn't understand why someone would hate him because he was with a white girl in the place where he grew up.
Your mom and dad.
Okay, you want to take that?
You can start, Ash.
My mom and dad, first of all, they're my heroes. My mom is from Niagara Falls, New York. She was the first black homecoming queen and only black homecoming queen in her high school. She worked. She was in the Army. She's a sergeant in the Army. She participated in a few wars, and now she works at the Apollo Theater, amateur night show coordinator. She has a Kathy Jordan Sharpton scholarship. She sends young people to school since I was a little girl. And my father, he needs less of an introduction. More people know of him. He is Reverend Al Sharpton. He's a civil rights leader, social justice advocate, preacher, strategist, activist, one of the leading voices of civil rights in America.
You want me to elaborate?
Oh, he's my boss too.
But yeah, just like Ashley said, our parents are our heroes. We are the only 2 children, both of them. So we had a fairly relatively smaller family growing up because it was just the 4 of us. So we were very close and very intricately involved in both of the aspects of what our parents did growing up. My mom, growing up, was in the U.S. Army, where she was a sergeant, where she served for over 15 years. She was involved in Desert Storm, and she was in charge of over 1,500 reservists. And so she was a militant woman, and we were instilled the discipline, of what that means from a very young age. But also being the daughter of at that time growing up, one of the most controversial figures in New York, was also very allowed us to be exposed to a lot of different things and have access to a lot of different opportunities, as well as being exposed to just a lot of different things that normally adolescents and teenagers normally wouldn't be exposed to. So we've gone through receiving death threats and having people, throwing rocks in our windows. And, our parents didn't allow us to watch television after 6 o'clock because my father was always on the news, either doing something or someone was, saying something about him that our parents didn't relatively want us to be exposed to. We couldn't go outside and play with regular children outside of our home. We couldn't have sleepovers. So these are things that, brought us closer as a family, as sisters, but it also made us strong and tough from a very young age to be able to really deal with trauma and deal with just hardships that any family, of course, has to deal with, but we, of course, have to share our parents with the world.
My mom also sung background for James Brown, which is where she met my father. Like his surrogate son.
Yeah, she's an amazing singer. Yeah. So they both are very talented, two individuals.
They're strong personalities.
Yeah.
Sometimes that complex.